And just like that, welcome back, Carolina Keith, regular Keith, Professor Keith. Oh, God, not Keith again. Oh, look, it's Keith. Good to see you. Let me fix my headset. There we go. I hope you had an awesome week. You likely didn't. Boy, was it a wild week. I know, I understand. I was right here with you. Promise I was dealing with the same stuff you were dealing with. Boy, the crazy just keeps on getting crazier, doesn't it? Just when you think you got it figured out, new curveballs get thrown at you. And what are you stuck with? Well, the answer is a big old bowl of crap, and you got to try to filter your way out of it, right? I get it. I'm understanding. Just like you got to deal with it, I got to deal with it, all right? So, without further ado, let's get off into it. I haven't taken the stuff off the thumbnail yet, but I will now. Uno momento. And bow. I hope you're happy with everything so far. No, I'm not. But nonetheless, if you would, please go hit the like button for me. I would very much appreciate it. Google tells me that most of you who watch don't like. X tells me that most of you watch don't like the video and or follow the video. Rumble tells me that most of you who watch don't go hit the like button and you don't go watch by following so you don't miss anything. Hey man, it's free. It costs absolutely nothing to hit the little like button down there. And whenever you hit the like button, it helps get our message out to everyone so that everyone can come be a part of what we do. And it help make a little bit more money, save a little bit more money, be ahead of the ball game just a little bit more than everybody else. And in case you didn't notice, it would be great to know more than everybody else, wouldn't it? Well, hey, I wish we knew it all, but we don't. Let's just start with the elephant in the room. I've got Bitcoin up on the chart here. All right? Guys, who've never been on a live stream, don't know how this works for me. It's very simple. It's data only. I don't like subjective bullcrap. I like to be objective. Give me facts over fiction. Give me data over feelings 10 out of 10 times. I say this all the time, but I reserve my feelings for the family and the sports teams. Right? We can be emotional about our sports teams and be idiots all we want. That's the whole point, right? But this is not all about being emotional. This is all about being data-driven, getting the most out of everything that you can. Boy, has it been miserable. We all know just yesterday, actually. Well, it's actually 2 days on the chart, but just yesterday, the government enacted widespread tariffs across all the globe, really, essentially demanding that they lower their tariffs on us, and if they don't, we will hit them with the reciprocal tariff. Essentially, those costs are passed on to the consumers, us, if we purchase their products. This incentivizes you to not purchase their products and to purchase American-made. Problem: a lot of stuff that we use is no longer American-made. So therein lies the traffic jam. Where does the money come from when you've been buying stuff from all over the world for the better part of 2.5 to 3 decades? Well, you don't know, right? You're not sure. A lot of manufacturing jobs are going to have to be created. A lot of manufacturing plants are going to have to be open. Power grids are going to have to be built. Substations are going to have to be designed and built. And you're going to need a lot of people to maintain all of that. This is going to take a long time to sort out. All right? That's just the long and skinny of it. But the good news is we have charts to tell us when things are going to get bad, when things are going to get better, when things aren't going to do much at all. We'll start with Bitcoin here and kind of work our way through the system. We like to go through the top assets here on the channel so we can see everything, lay it all out, and figure out what's going on. I've got it all drawn out for you here on the chart. I'm going to make these letters a little bit bigger for you, for those in the back of the room who can't see too great, like me. Bruh. Sorry, I don't see so great. I've got written right here, need a trend break and hold to change the bearish structure. What is a bearish structure? Well, it's very simple. I've got it labeled here with our, let me put the present on. I got a little demonstration thing right there. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. What does that mean, everybody? Well, what we do is all trend based. We've learned over time that you can kind of be ahead of the curve and know what's coming beforehand if you follow the trend. Trend is up, that would be higher highs, or HH, and higher lows, HL. Note that you only have one HL right here, and there are no other HHs, higher highs. It's only lower highs and lower lows. Not great. That isn't going to cut it. This trend hasn't broken yet. We further identify that trend by drawing a trend line. No, the trend line is not the be-all, end-all. It is nothing more than a tool to help us better see the trend. We haven't broken that yet. I think it's fairly obvious that it's right down in the corner of this triangle here. Hasn't made up its mind what it wants to do. Are you going to fail? Are you going to hold? Are you going to boil endlessly? What's going to happen here? Don't know just yet, but we're watching very, very closely, and I'm happy to tell everybody what happens when it happens. If you've been following along on X, or if you've been in our Discord, you're able to see exactly what I've been seeing. I've been posting the Bitcoin charts all along the way for you on the low time frames. You can see different liquidation levels, different sweeps of highs and lows, which I'll flip to that screen in a moment. But first, I wanted you to see the very basics here. Driving into this corner is not the end of the world. We simply have to make a decision when we get there. Now I'm going to pull up the Bollinger Bands. We've talked about the Bollinger Bands on here a good bit, haven't we? Right? Bollinger Bands help us see volatility, help us see what's coming up for the future, and lets us know, things are very wide on the Bollinger Bands. We may go sideways for a while. Things are very wide on the Bollinger Bands. May go sideways for a while. Furthermore, as the bands get tighter, and as you see, they've gotten tighter. I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. Double sneeze? Maybe. Maybe.
Come on, man.
Sorry, no more sneezes, only one.
Gotcha, bitch.
So, anyway, Bollinger Bands have gotten tighter. As the Bollinger Bands get tighter and tighter, and they start to squeeze in on all these candles right here, and these candles represent each day one by one. Each candle represents whether it closed up or closed down. And those wicks on the candles that you see right there, well, those wicks show us all the price in between before we opened and after we opened and before we closed. You get all these crazy movement, crazy wicks. Those wicks help to see us some more data as well. This case, you got a false breakout and a whole lot of liquidations. And we'll talk about those in a moment. But more so, I want you to notice those Bollinger Bands are driving dead sideways. They're going to squeeze. I would like us to be over this midline. As long as we're not over this midline, it's a bit worrisome because there's downside. There's downside here. If this trend line breaks, things could get really, really ugly. And as you see, we're very snug against this trend line. I'll scroll out a bit here so you can see how snug it is. There you go. This goes all the way back to 2023. Goes up, hits a couple touches, goes up, gets a couple touches, and as you see, we're driving right into the corner of it right here. We need a break. We haven't had a good break for us in quite a while. If you could have such a thing to say we're due, well, we're due. You see me wearing my Braves shit. We're 0-7. We're due. Got the Braves cup right here beside me on the desk. We're due. I got the Tar Heel hat on. We're due. I got the Panthers stuff up behind me. Panthers light on the wall right there. We're due. See what I mean? Just because you're due doesn't mean it's going to happen. However, I'm hopeful and waiting. I need to see some more, and I'll go a little deeper and show you what I mean. All right? Moving averages. It's not going to get better. All right, so under the 821 EMA, no go. That would be our first good sign. We did get over it the day before tariffs, and then the day after tariffs, we're right back down below it like absolutely nothing at all happened. Okay, unfortunately, we're under the 821 until we cross it. We don't have a fair buy signal. Next problem, that 200 moving average that's trucking right on through the chart right there. We need to be above that, not below it. As long as we're below it, danger zone. Danger zone. That needs to get back above it immediately. If it doesn't, we risk further downside. 50 moving average, the yellow line. As you see, bearing down on the 200 moving average, and we're about to get what we in the business call a death cross. When the 50 moving average crosses below the 200 moving average. How does that sound? Doesn't sound too great, does it? Exactly. So if those moving averages cross, it's only going to cause us more slowdowns, more delays, and more of a hard time. Furthermore, 100 moving average, even if we break out and get above this trend line, look, we are still going to get hammered down by that 100 moving average at some point, right? I want you to notice this because it's not exactly a great look, right? If we don't get above this very rapidly, we're going to have problems. It needs to get back above it. It needs to get back above those moving averages now, all right? I know we're coming up on the weekend, and lately every time we come up on the weekend, we drive sideways, and we have wonky shit happens on the weekends, and then Monday comes along, and then Monday's all thrown out of whack. Things have to get settled out. They just have to get settled out. Now, if you'll look, this goes all the way to the 12th. Technically, we could just dig sideways all the way till this time next week, maybe even later. That would suck, wouldn't it? If we just got nothing candles dead sideways. I don't think that happens. I think we're going to get some volatility one way or the next. We're going to find out. How about the Ichimoku cloud? Ugh. Underneath everything. We have 4 red X's. We have a red cloud. We have one green check mark. We got the conversion line over the baseline, blue over red. That's one check mark. Problem is our lag line is still underneath the candles. That's not good enough. And we're still underneath the cloud with the price. That's not good enough. 3 out of 4 red ain't going to cut it. Sorry, we need at least 3 out of 4 on the green to start thinking about it. And that ain't going to get it. We have a long way to go here. This cloud is nice and fat.
Pause.
No homo. But, we could jump into the cloud here and then think about it. But again, that's still going to take time. It's not going to go rapidly. I'm not sure what the catalyst is that the market needs for confidence to return. But if you're asking me why this isn't doing what we want it to do, I would say it's got to do with new money confidence. If you're not sure of the market, you're not going to go throw a bunch of money into it. That's just simple logic. Now, for us who have been in it for a long time, you're going to think differently and go, oh, no, I don't mind. I'll go ahead and put some money in. I'm not afraid of this at all. I've seen this 1,000 times, right? You'll say that kind of stuff. I've seen this 1,000 times. It's no big deal. Yeah, well, most people ain't going to do that. So I would like to see some sort of confidence sentiment come back. That would be nice, and that would get us on the right track at least. Pivot line. We're also under the pivot. So if we break the pivot and we break the 200 and we break the 50 and we break the trend line and we break the 821 EMA, then we can think about more up.
Damn.
I know. It's not a simple task, is it? Sorry. I wish it was going to be easier than that, but it ain't. It ain't going to be easier than that. Unfortunately, this is what we're dealt with. We've got to play the cards we're dealt. We've got to sit here and watch it. I'll tell you this. For the day, I don't like that the board is so red immediately. It's very disheartening to see immediate sell pressure every time you get a little bit of buy pressure. And you can just look back over the last several months and see every time we get a little buy pressure, it's met with immediate sell pressure. It hasn't broken. You could argue to the hilts about, well, it's this is the reason, and that's the reason, and the reasons are insignificant to me. I just want to make money. I just want to make as much as I can. I just want to sell it when I need to sell it. All that in between stuff is blah, blah, blah to me. All right, so got to wait it out here. Unfortunately, this thing's driving into this wedge, and if it's going to drive into this wedge and take it a while, well, that's just par for the course. That's what we got to deal with. All right, let me go jump into some comments real fast and say, hey, what's up, Phonetic Duck? Thank you, Andrew Ionescu. Appreciate it, brother. Busted Matt, what's up, dude? What's up, Stifler? Good to see you, brother. What's up, Ashley? How are you? Markets are bleeding. You're damn right they are, and it friggin' sucks. Carmine Glitch, how you doing, brother? It never ends, sadly. I hear you. Let's get some higher highs, can we? Absolutely, Kevin. I agree, bro. Some higher highs would be lovely. What's up, Eric? Good to see you, brother. Turbo. What's up, cousin Jeremy? What's up, brother? Matt Wallace, what's up? Also busted. Did me an audio check. Before the stream, because when you multi-stream like this, it's actually very complicated to get a multi-stream running. And to have multiple layouts with sound effects and all this other stuff that I've got with the intro, the not financial advice thing that pops up. By the way, none of this is financial advice. All that stuff's very difficult to set up. It is. You wouldn't think it would be, but damn sure if it ain't. So, yeah, appreciate it when people come on and give me a heads up. Let me know what's going on. All right, let's go down to the lower time frames here so you can see what all's happening as far as where's the money coming in, where's the money going out, that kind of stuff. All right. If you look closely here, you'll see that I've got highs marked right here, right here, right here with those green lines that you see that run horizontally. See that? Those horizontal lines mark places where shorts were entered, where a lot of shorts all piled in at the same time and decided they were going to bet against the market. So shorts piled in, shorts piled in, shorts piled in, right? And I've got labels right here that say wipe shorts. Well, what does that mean? Well, if the price comes back up and gets beyond their entry, typically most people who have good risk tolerance will set a stop loss just on the upside of these lines here. Just on the upside of those, just to be careful and make sure they don't want to do anything too crazy. Things get wild, they're going to jump back out. Those liquidations are way up there around $90,000. We're at $82,000. We're nowhere near them right now. Think you can get that vibe. Now, we did have some shorts right here. The tariff stuff liquidated those particular shorts. As you see, it jumped up right there. It nuked them. And since then, we've had new shorts come piling in. Great. All of these shorts just piled in. On top of that, recently, since yesterday, more shorts piled in here. So they're just pummeling the market with bets against, over and over and over again, just battering the market with sell pressure. And that's all there is to it. You want to force the price down, just keep betting against it. The only way to break that is to have more people bet for it. And if people aren't betting for it, sorry, folks, you're just going to keep getting this constant sell-off that keeps happening. It's rather ruthless, I know, but unfortunately we have to deal with it. Now, you could argue that these heavy longs that came in all the way back at the beginning of March, but when this price ran up and it finally started feeling good again, you could argue they got clipped just today. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. It may or may not have got them. Either way, it dug into them a little bit. That wick right there might have been the breaker that came down and liquidated them, all right? So those heavy longs may have been wiped, and this might be all the liquidity grabs that they're going to get. There is one more entry down here at about 79,000. You could argue there's more down here at 78, 77, maybe. But that heavy of a fall off, I'm not sure if I buy that, but I do buy a higher low. All right. Those longs are down there around 80,000. That's it. After that, there's no more. I mean, there's hardly any longs left on the book. It's all shorts. At that point, the shorts start to go, hey, dude, you know, we've built up a pretty big pile of shit here. It might be time to get rid of some of it. So you'll see profits get taken. You'll see moves get made as we approach that time. Problem is the shorts are so heavy right now. They're just pummeling the longs. And until that breaks, unfortunately, we're not going to get a move like we want. The trend is the rule. Unfortunately, the trend is down. Even on the low time frames, look at how all the moving averages are above the price, except the 821 EMA on the 1 hour. It's trying to cross up. So we may get an attack on the price, and we may try to get these shorts right here that piled in late and kind of scare them off a little bit and make the market a little more neutral. If that happens by tomorrow, which is actually today already because it just started, just about to be midnight. If that happens and we can nuke these shorts right here and start wiping some of them off the page, this sets the tone for us to come back up here to attack some of this inefficient bullshit that happened the other day where it immediately just lowered back down like that and crushed the market. That gives us a chance to attack that. And we've got longs way up here to attack at 87, 88,000. I'm sorry, shorts to attack at 88,000. That's going to be a lot of work to get up there. But if enough sentiment comes in and enough buys come in, you're going to start to see these shorts roll over and quit. Also, shout out to Terry telling, what's up, Piffer? Shout out to Terry explaining to me that someone put $1 million bet against Bitcoin the other day in the form of a put option with a $70,000 strike price. So not only do they think it's going to go down, but they think it's going to go all the way down to 70. And if it gets hit to 70, that's their multiplier, their strike price. And that's when things really take off for them. I don't know if we get down that far. That seems a little bit bombastic. After going all the way to 100 back down to 70, I'm not sure about that. We'll see. I know the numbers. I understand. But that seems a little bit out of range to think about this early. I think that's a little much. So anyway, I'm going to continue to mark the chart here and show you. Keep you attuned to what's going on. Obviously, we have been doing lower time frame stuff than that over in the Discord. I've been doing live trade in the morning. I think I've took 1 loss and 2 wins. The 2 wins have been very small. But they're always going to be small bets. I'm just doing it live for everyone to see it. No big, risky, crazy degen stuff. Y'all guys know me. I don't do I'm pretty anti-degen. I'm going to try to keep it flat and solid and not do anything too dumb or stupid. I don't like that stuff. And I think all y'all know and kind of respect the fact that I'm not going to be an idiot when it comes to that. So I do it over in the Discord. We do it we do it maybe twice a week, sometimes once. I only did it once this week because of all the tariff crap going on. So I'll keep it updated. I'll keep doing it, right? I'm watching anyway. I usually get up at 6:30 or 7 and just sit here in the office by myself and watch charts, right? Just to try to get my mind right before we go. It's mentally taxing. This has been extremely mentally taxing. It's been very difficult to keep my mind right. Just honestly with y'all, dude, it's just to be totally honest, this is incredibly disheartening to be doing, to sit here and deal with this and watch all this bludgeoning of the market over and over again and still be here. We'll talk about that in a minute, but it's tough to watch. All right. So a couple more things to look at. Let's jump back over to, the regular Bitcoin chart for a moment. This is one I had up here a second ago. Let me drop this back down to the smaller font. I don't need that big of a font, right? Oscillators. I don't tend to show these a lot because they're just oscillators. They just kind of help me give confluence. Yes or no? Right now, RSI is still pretty nominal in between 40 and 50. Much ado about nothing. We did have this big oversold come in, and we did come up off of that. We did have that big overbought, and we did run down off of that. I want to see this thing work back toward overbought again. If that happens, that moves us out of this trend and likely moves us up there towards some of those liquidations that I think we need to handle and to take care of some of those liquidations that haven't been challenged yet. You haven't really challenged the bears at all in months. So I think they need a good challenge. I think it's due for them to get a good challenge. They've been winning since December. I mean, come on, 4 months of winning. I doubt it, right? But still happening. Here's your MACD. I mean, this thing's almost dead flat. Look, you don't have any new buyers coming in. Problem is you don't have any new sellers coming in either. All you got is buyers leaving. You're still underneath the midline. Midline is here, right? We're still underneath that. Until that changes, we're stuck. I'm going to hit the auto button. There we go. Until you see that change, we're stuck. We want to get this over the midline to be in the more bullish territory. We want to see some more dark green come in right here, like you had in here. I want to see dark green. I don't want to see any of this red shit anymore. It's fully possible that we get it. Look what happened last time this happened when we just consolidated here. We got a couple little green bars, then that big sale pressure come in and really sent us down the grinder there, right? Baby steps. I'm hoping things change here, but we haven't got there yet. This is still sideways, unfortunately. And then if we look at the weekly, it's a lot of the same stuff. It really is. It's a lot of the same stuff. Oscillators are kind of sideways. I mean, the MACD is still big down right here, but look, for the first time in a while, we're starting to see sell pressure fall off on the weekly. I'm not saying it's go time. I'm saying we got a lot of divergence between the two MACD lines on the weekly, and we are starting to see sell volume kind of dry up a little bit on the weekly. Fingers crossed there, okay? That's not a terrible sign. RSI, you're nominal in between 50 and 40, just kind of cruising along. after being overbought several times, right? We may or may not go oversold. Typically, you don't get oversold on the weekly unless it's a bear market. And you only really get that after you go way overbought. Now, in previous bull markets, we saw this thing do this several times. That hasn't happened this time. Here's our comparison in bull markets. There's 2016 and 2020 left and right. And currently, where we're at right now, you can see we've kind of failed the 21 EMA. Dang it, I did this last time. Whoops. There we go. Every once in a while I hit the wrong button. Sorry, fellas, ladies, if you're watching. Not many of y'all are, but I hope you are. All right, we want everybody to win. I can't do presentation on the three-way screen like this. So anyway, you see right here. Damn it, I did it again. What? I'm hitting the wrong button. Hold on. There we go. What an idiot. Yeah, I know. So anyway, 21 EMA right here. You see we failed it back in 2020. Yeah, you see it right here. Failed the 21 EMA just the same way. We're underneath the 821 on the weekly, and we're getting an 821 weekly downward cross. This happened in 2020. Didn't happen in 2016. This slowed us way down in 2020. However, I'll say it's been a much slower approach up this time than it was in 2020. So things aren't exactly the same. They're not exactly different either. They're similar. Unfortunately, this thing is still hanging on to the trend right here. So I can't call this bull market over yet. It's just really slow and terrible, especially for altcoins, which we haven't even talked about. So there's our weekly. There's our daily. As you see, things have kind of stagnated here. And as long as this thing drives sideways, like I keep telling you, as long as this thing wants to push itself into the corner like this, well, we have to sit back and wait and watch. Unfortunately, we're a bit of a slave to the market. We don't have a choice on whether it's going to go up or down. We have to sit back and watch and wait. I'm hopeful we get a flip. But like I said, for the daily, let's go over this one more again. Currently in the way of the price, the pivot line. Got to get over that. And I'll give you the prices of that as I say them here. Pivot line is at 84,750. That's got to get crossed. All right. Then you've got the 8 EMA at 83,500. The 21 EMA at 84,500. The 200 moving average at 86,500. The 50 moving average at 87,500. All of them are right there in the way of the price. Everything is stuck right in the way of the price. Even more confluence of that. The Ichimoku cloud indicators. Conversion line is at 84,008. Cloud level, 86,200. All of it right there, compacted in one spot. Just kind of slowing everything down. Sucks, I know. But I want you to look at it like this. We started this all the way back in 2019. Started YouTube in 2020. At the time in 2020, we thought things couldn't get worse, right? Man, this is terrible. The market did this. Oh no, what do we do? Everything bounced back and came back stronger than ever. The whole world stopped when that happened. Yet we rebounded and came back. So I ask you, are we still afraid that that's not going to rebound and come back? Do we think this thing's over and just toast just like that? And that this is enough to make it all stop and go away, even though we went through the worst before? If you can continue to make it through this, and I haven't given up, I hope you haven't given up. All right. If you haven't given up like me, you're still going at this. You've been through the 2020 rapid fall off that started in March and lasted all the way through April, then extremely popped up and went up to new highs. If you can make it all the way through that rugged bear market that we dealt with, started in 2022 and ended in 2022 at the beginning of 2023, taking off and going again. If you can deal with these month-long waits that we're having to deal with, months-long waits, this will be a hell of a story to tell later. Everything that you went through, everything that you dealt with, all the hardship, all the hard time, as tough as it was, you're still here. You're still here fighting. I'm still here fighting. I hope you're still here fighting with me. This isn't over. I'm not quitting. I'll bet against the market if the trend fails. Hasn't done that yet. I'm sticking with it. I got positions in basic stuff here. I haven't gone crazy, and I'm still sitting on a bunch of stable coins waiting. I haven't given up. I don't want you to give up. All right. If I can do it, you can do it. It's not. I'm nobody special. I'm just a dude. All right. You guys know this. I don't pretend to be the king of the world. I'm not. I don't pretend to have all the answers because I don't. But by gosh, we're going to keep going at this until we make it. All right. I got no other choice but to make it. It's that simple. Cool. So thank you everybody at YouTube for watching. I appreciate y'all hanging out and seeing this through. We're going to jump over to X and Rumble now. We only do the first 30 minutes on YouTube, and then we walk away from YouTube. We don't do YouTube that long. We only do a little bit of content over there. So see you guys over on Rumble and X after this. Y'all be good on YouTube, man. Peace. And we're back on X and Rumble. It only takes me